Good evening. Welcome to the live Facebook. That's right. Hope you're quite comfortable tonight. Despite what we have seen in the market, the last 2 days have seen a little bit of correction, but all those has been updated in our Telegram chat room. And don't forget to join our Telegram chat room as well, or visit our Facebook in martintf.mo for all information here, or you can just subscribe and come over to our website tradevsa.com. Now let's get on to what we have for tonight, which is the area I'll be talking about is revival in technology. A lot's been said, so we'll do a bit of update and recover and also dwell down to some of those stocks in particularly that may interest you, both looking from a small cap stock and large cap, both in US market into. So do share this video in your timeline, and I do hope that you're well seated on, and let's get on to what we have for you in store tonight for the revival of the technology sector, KLSE in US market. A very good evening to all of you who have came in, and thank you for your time. So I want to make sure the time that you well spend here, especially our members, will get a lot of big benefits in here so they can go on to focus some of those shares that you have. Now, no doubt this market in here may be quite tricky to invest in the longer term, but on the shorter terms, there are many of these very short-term trade that you can do. You'll take a small profit in here, but don't hold too long, as this may not be the kind of rally that we want to be seeing, more like a bear market rally, as the news, I think just last Friday or so, the technical recession, which is the second quarter of the 2022 that just came out and kind of confirmed, but the earnings season that is coming out from the US market has been very, very beneficial, and that's thus this market go up. But don't forget, a lot of the time the market seems to be going up on the disguise of bad news, because we are all always trained to like good news. If you are trained to like bad news, certainly this market will be fairly interesting to you. But don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at tradevsa.com, as this video will be archived over there and all in here. Now, ongoing for the month of August, like we do in July, this topic in here are designed to raise your trading skill to the next level in here, right? Definitely what we are talking right now for this 3rd of August, we'll be focusing on technology sector, the KLSE in US, and then next week on the 10th, we'll be exploring futures market using volume spread analysis, and on the 17th, changing the way you trade with pullback, and on the 24th, the largest wealth transfer started in US market. Okay, so all this will be in store for you, so make sure you join us every Wednesday night at 9:30 in here. Now let's get on to what is really happening in here, and what is in the mind of many trader and investor is the technology recovering. So we're going to be checking out some bypass some facts that we have seen before. So, but as I said before, this technical recession continue to haunt many investors, especially the beginner. Is it time to buy yet, or this opportunity is no longer in there? Because finding the right stock and the right sector to buy may be quite tricky. And on top of that, you have the bad news of the technical recession in mind in here. So what is this? Are we in the bear market territory? Are we in the bear market rally that we see in here? So is this a real recovery, or will this recovery soon fade out like many things we will? What are the things that we want to watch out for, right? Will this be permanent like what we seen the year before, or will this be just fade off? So a better and newer method will be what we call dive into the technology sector. That's right. This is what we call the VSA sector technology coverage. So I'll be sharing with you 2 methods that we use to dive down to those technology sector, seeking and looking for those hidden gems that you may come across in here. All right. So if you appreciate what we have done so far, and if this topic is suitable, give me a thumbs up in here. Really appreciate for that in here. And thank you again for coming, all of you in here. But let's get on to what we have for you, with focusing away from the old method, which many of you may be just using scoreboards and to look for shares, but we want to find a right way. What is tonight's sharing is all about? You can see this picture of a diver in the diving in here. So what we are doing is stock sector rotation. Okay, stock sector rotation. Now, last week we did talk about the rotation in here, but now we want to dive deep into the technology sectors in here, because previously we have talked about the oil and gas sector. Is already long gone. Now the fast money or the smart money are flowing into the technology sectors in here because the earnings seems to be supporting in here. But of course, on the backdrop of what we call the bad news, the technical recession. So time to buy when you see that green pentagon, and it applied to when we will be applying some of the market stages in here. And this, what we call deep dive, it's very suitable for all trader, investor in here. And right now, the market is still going through market volatility, and we're still taking off from where we left off, looking at bottom fishing. That's what we call the deep dive. So you will have likely the lowest risk level in here. And this is an excellent timing to buy low and sell high. All right, now remember from last week, we talked about money flow from the bottom and will flow up from the top. So money right now is flowing into the technology sector. Some market leader has not run yet. Some market leader has run. So we will look it from the KLSE context, spending more time in here just to touch on also on the US market. Now, if you have any question in there, feel free to pencil those in. I'm happy to answer them in here. And thank you for coming tonight in here. So definitely, previously, last week, we talked about different jobs. Is it going to be in the healthcare sector because of the monkeypox that we're seeing? Or is it going to be in industrial or maybe the finance sector, since everyone is talking about raising interest rate? But all in all, tonight's focus will be on technology, right? Because technology still remain to be bargain. Now, let's look at one of the news that came out, which I have sort of informed everyone, was this news that came out on StarBiz on the 8th of July. Okay, so a lot of analysts were still optimistic, as I am. I'm still optimistic about it because the spending nature of where the growth is all remain unchanged. The way people are lifestyle, the access to the 5G, the handphone and mobile has not changed that much. And also previously we talked about metaverse, which has already been overblown a bit, but the good old way of using technology, where using mobile phones and accessing internet are still there, and also the growth in terms of the electric vehicle. And we all know, right? Previously, we have seen the climate change theme has come in, and also last week, the US Congress has passed in a Reconciliation Act that will focus on the green energy. So that has taken a bit of interest. A lot of the green energy sectors and the battery segment will definitely do well. Now, in this news, this analyst, just to give you a bit of backdrop behind when this news first came out and technology revival, the research here from TA Securities were giving it a overweight call on semiconductor technology. Not all, right? Not all technology. Tonight, we're going to be drilling into the semicon. OSAT stand for Outsourced Semiconductor Assembly and Test, all right, which have a growth of a 16.3% year on year. It is one of the fastest growth, and they did feature 5 companies, so you might want to take this down. Definitely Inari with the target price of 330, Unisem at 350, MPI at 38.60, Elsoft at 75 cents, DNO and 4 ringgit and 48 cents. Now, take note of this. These are fundamental picks. They may not be the right timing. Is it in the right market stages? Because all in all, we want to go in at the lowest risk with the highest return. Now, if you're just going purely on fundamentals in here, you might get caught. You may buy even averaging on what we call a falling knife, which we talked about previously. You don't want to do that. So you want to be able to buy probably at the right setup with the minimum risk factor in here and give you the kind of decent reward to risk, so you will always continue to do well. So take note of the 5 stocks that we're talking over here, right? Unisem, Inari, MPI, Elsoft, DNO, all right? So these are the ones. Now, if you pay attention to the sector news on Robie report, okay, now remember, every day I send out a Robie report, a daily Robie report. If you have not got it, you can get hold of daily Robie report through an email. It's definitely free in here. Now, first, that news came out, right, on the 8th of July. 8th of July, right? The good news came out in July. And Green Pentagon picked it up on the 18th of July. By the time we are talking right now, it's already August. Really more than almost a month that has occurred. So that's why sometimes when we do talks like this, generally are slower. So make sure you catch me on Monday and Friday, where we will talk about those Green Pentagon as it appeared. So keep in mind, the VSA Green Pentagon for the technologies actually appeared on the 18th of July. All right, so that was where it first came out in, and since then already run. By the time, if you are a beginner, can buy now, if you ask that question, you can see we already have upthrust, right? So upthrust generally are a sign of weakness. It may not be necessary a full reversal we are seeing, but we should not neglect it, because that could be a temporary weakness in the market that may not allow you to get into the market in here. So we're going to drill down to some of those stocks that we have in mind here. All right, so pay attention. Now remember, this daily Robie report news first reported on the 8th of July, and it was sent out by an email from the support@tradevsa.com. So if not, you can subscribe to the free Robie report daily from tradevsa.com, so all the news will be covered them, so you don't miss any of this news that we talk about in here, and absolutely free. So if you look at a comparison between the sector that we talk about, the KLCI versus the US Dow, using the US Dow futures in here, then you could see the difference between these sectors in here. Because the KLCI has dropped the lowest, all right, in reference to January in here, worst case was about 5% in here. Now it's pulled back to almost unchanged. Dow has dropped even further. You can see Dow here dropped almost to 15%. But what I'm trying to tell you in here, there's a very fine relationship in here, right? The relationship is this technology in here is Bursa technology. Okay, red is the Bursa, NDX stand for US Nasdaq. That's right. So this NDX seems to be picking up, and you can see Dow, right, are the driving factors. So what is this in mind? So which means all you got to do is pay attention to the big brother. Look at the US market. If the US market jalan 2 or 3 days, our market will jalan also, right? We are like the small brother, follow the big brother. So that's why I want to say that it's not that difficult. If you can pair this in the trading view, it's absolutely free over there. You can check it out in here. You can use whatever I'm using in here. Use the trading view account to your advantage, and you don't have to pay anything for that one. All right. So the US Nasdaq and the Bursa are strongly correlated, and a good benefit is our Bursa technology are usually about 3 to 4 days slower than the technology. So as you can see before, even tonight, if the technology sector were to go a bit higher, you can see our Bursa technology will move. Not all KLCI will move, but the technology certainly definitely will do this. So right now, we want to see this relationship in here, and we kind of convince ourselves that judging from both sides, looking at this chart here, the US technology, this is from our Smart Robie. Also, you can pick it up from our VSA chart in here. You can see XLK, which is the technology ETF, which we use it as a barometer, has gone fairly much up here, broken through this 40-day moving average. You can see the KLCI just broke through here. So you can see this, how much this big move have moved. So usually our KLCI, given time, given opportunity, will also rise through, because right now a lot of the technology, remember, we focus on OSAT, right? Those are the technology semiconductors we're going to, and we're going to go down deeper, looking at not only just those stocks, because some of them may not be the setup that we want. All right, so keep in mind, technology on the US technology, XLK on the top here, and on this side, you will see the this side here, you will see the Bursa Malaysia in here. Nowhere else you can get this chart of the sector, only in the VSA 360 or the Smart Robie. In there you can get it. All right. So also we also want to study where we are right now. Okay. Now let me just move this a bit, pushing it higher a bit. You can see here, and so right now you can see what I want to address you is likelihood, the danger zone. All right, now you can see the KLCI has overextended. This is the market stages, which is a new plug-in for our VSA 360. So for those of you who have it, this is definitely a very good premium indicator. You can see it has gone above the red line, so that's why we are in the danger zone here. And every time when you go through like what we've seen previously, after 4 or 5 bars, the market usually will correct, right? And we will correct, hopefully not too much in here. And you can also see the mini Dow Jones are doing the same thing too. So right now, this market started to pull back. You can see already pull back 1 bar, pull back 1 bar here. So depending on tonight, so by chance, if the market were to sell down, right? So it is no surprise, correct? Because the market stages had seen it overextended. You can see profit taking, and also you can see, more importantly, the last round, the peak value, which is again another VSA 360 in here. It has moved up 6%, move up 6.8%, right? So those are the tall tale signs. Now this here, usually when the market break above that 10%, right, that denotes this market is no longer in the downtrend, but likely to break up or move to a stage 2. So you can see from here, definitely Dow Jones has gone up to the 11%, and in the KLCI is 6%. So there's still a lot of room for the KLCI to move higher in here, judging from the market state. But right now, we are seeing weakness coming in here. How do we know that? Just look through the market stages as it dropped below the red line in here. Now, the green line was the best time where you want to be entering. This is what I will talk about in here time and time again. All right. So in summary, for our part 1 in here, Bursa Technology is playing catch up to a US Nasdaq in here. The recovery in KLSE is selected to few sectors only, okay? So I said before, right now, the technology and industrial are those 2 sectors. So we need to look at the technical chart setup for the Bursa Technology, again, using some of the ideas we shared previously from bottom fishing. As the bottom fishing trade has ended, which began the stage 2 markup stage. So keep that in mind, right? So this is where we are right now in here. So the tools that we'll be using will be the stock screener, industrial stock screener, where we'll be focusing on this deep dive into this area in here, right? Using the VSA 360. Now, there are 2 ways in VSA 360 for this year 2020. The first one is stock industry, many of you doing, but we are coming up with the second method, which is using a Pentagon sector watch list. This date will be released from all our members, and this is one of the way we can dive deep into the relative sector. Now, the difference between method 1 and method 2 is just looking at it from a different angle. Stock industry, we are looking at all stocks, okay, focusing on the right sector. For Pentagon watch list sector, we are looking at which stock has just turned green Pentagon, right? So which means we are waiting for the stocks to come to us. In method 1 that you see on the left hand side is that we go and look after the stocks. So after we find the stock, we be patient. But method 2 is that we go in and look for what to trade next. So 1 is come to you, 1 you go to it, okay? So keep that in mind. This is what the difference between these 2 sectors in here. So we want to look at the VSA 360 stock sector industrial, which is prime for it. So method 1, definitely you want to be looking at the screener and then looking at the sector percentage gain. So this is something that you have, and don't worry if you can't access the VSA 360, no worries. We have a 10-day free trial. You can check it out in here, worth 266 with a 30-minute training given by one of our trainers in here. Definitely worth your time to check it out. Give you an opportunity to test drive the VSA 360 to put opportunity that you never seen before in here. So the other one is the method 2, which is relatively new, is what we call the VSA 360 Pentagon watch list. So we have a technology watches in here. This is still, we are still undergoing testing for this. So you can see from here, Hong Seng, which is a technology, has fallen a lot, minus 25%, minus LT. So this one has fallen a lot. And what we are looking for is looking for at least a green or orange green in here, right? With the Pentagon green, and you can see this turned green Pentagon about 1 week and 6 days ago. So market cap about 1.4 billion. So not too bad. These are some of the smaller cap stocks. So this one here is a mid cap stock, JHM, and look at that, LSoft, right? Isn't it, right? Just now, why I talk about LSoft, because it's important when TA, big analyst company, talk about this company like LSoft. So which means a lot of people are looking already. So maybe you get the kind of support in here. But again, right, the LT here is red, and the short term is minus 10%. So which means it may not be ready yet, but we can also look into this shortly in here. So Iris, Chrono, but this is just a snapshot of this method in here. So method 2 is actually looking for those company that's already turned green Pentagon in here. All right. Now we also have the US sector index. This is where I talk about it. Here again, we have 14 sectors in here, all also turn green, right? You can see the KLCI sector also turned green. You can check it out on the VSA 60, and this one has turned green. What has done very well is the technologies up 7% from green Pentagon. XLY is up 10%, and then you have semiconductors. You can see XSD is up 18%. So semiconductors is another sector which actually pops up by itself, and you can see. So from then onwards, this is a very good tall tale sign that why semiconductors are. Now, if you look at the XLK here, just at this example, we can also shortly look at the semiconductors. We have these two moving average. Used to be these two moving average is coming down, okay? Down, 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 and we have the trend down, which is the 20 and 40. But right now, it starts to cross over and turn. But what's really great about we have a strong background. We have a double bottom here, right? And then we have a lot of sign of strength. We have a NS, we have a line change, we have 3 line change in here, and cross over the 40-day moving average. So it's going to be bullish, but right now at this junction, as we talk about, weakness are setting in. All right. So if you look from the plug-in, a more advanced and a premium selection of it, you can see this market has turned into a different picture. Right now we have 3 bars above the red line in here, so we are at danger zone. The market might just turn off, and also we have an upthrust here, right? Market has moved up almost 19%, and usually the 20% mark. Anytime when anything goes above 20%, they will deem it to be very, very means the market is turning bullish. But of course, why not? Because we have seen before the Nasdaq has fallen more than 40 or 50%. So mean of moving up 20% is actually very, very small in here. But we need to be careful. That's why we use the market stages at this red line in here. That will be a tall tail side, and also we have a double top. So no surprises. Again, tonight I'll share with you, if the market were to correct, it is a right toe to it, because every time when you have this double top, market usually correct and will retest back the old support, and we will see when the market goes back up to the market stages, and it usually goes back to the green area here. That will be a good time to be looking to buy right now. Okay, and let's look into the VSA's 360 technology deep dive. Okay, so we're going to bring it up, the VSA 360. If you have a copy of this, good, our members go through together with me. We will run through this together. And those of you who don't have it, just stay and watch, and you can check out our 10-day free trial, or sign up for our foundation class as well for the 360 package, because we do have our master class and our foundation class going on this coming Friday night. That's right. So after you sign in here, you go to your screener and you notice this one, sector percentage gain. That's the one that you want to be paying interest to. Okay, hit that one. That will take you to this, and of course you can open it up in here. Okay, open it up, and right now once you open up, it's a full screen where you can do your screening and look out for the stocks that we are looking for. And we have many sectors. You can see energy, construction, consumer, so and so forth in here. But what we want to pay attention is technology, because this is for our Malaysian market. Okay, so our Malaysian market, we hit the technology, we will hit submit. Okay, and we can click on to, once you get that, you can go to about 25. So this will give you 25 sectors. Of course, for a Muslim friend, you can put in the Sharia, and once you put in the Sharia, you'll filter 7,904. You can put in the FA Dido. So FA Dido are those stocks that are high quality with little debt and pay dividend. Definitely one of those are Inari, Sensor, Globetronic, G-Tronics, and so forth. Now, if you don't know, just trust me, you go to Globetronic, hit that one, right? It'll take you to our Trade VSA, and you can check out Globetronic, get 5 out of 8. So you can definitely see how easy to use our VSA 360. Once you see the stock, click on it, you'll know whether to buy. And you can also see analyst has a hold from RHB OSK at 125, which is almost here. It right now at this price, and you can see this trade already make a U-turn. We're going to upthrust in here. So that was safety margin is just 9 only. Okay, best to have about 40%. So you have a good deal. But overall, this is not too bad. You can see dividend pay a 6.2%. That's why you have this free tick in here. Let's go to the next one. You can also check out Inari. Okay, check out Inari, and you can have Inari pay 4% dividend right now, 4% dividend. So you can pick up, let's also want to pick up the growth stock. These are the ones you have: Vistech, OpenSys, a software company. But tonight we are interested on the semiconductor. So based on what we have seen so far, right, we can definitely say that Inari is one of the better one because it is under semiconductor. So under the search, you put in semiconductor, and you can see just narrow it down to one. It is both Sharia, FADIDO, and it is growth stock. Easy, right? So that's how we. So keep in mind, we'll put in our list here, Inari being one of the most popular and well diversified, strong company in here. So now we're going to switch off all this, and we want to do a deep dive. Now, earlier on, we'll be interested in semiconductors. And why we're interested in semiconductors is because if you look from it, semiconductors industry has the best potential growth going for with a 16.3%. So in here, you have this semiconductors, okay? So you type semi, right? So right now, if you want to put in semi, you can see it filter out 15 out of 104, all right? 15 out of 104, I'm sorry, you can't see this. I suppose, yeah, just right at the bottom here. So take my word, let me just make it a bit smaller. Yeah, let me see. No, you still can't see because it's right at this bottom in here. And I need to make this a bit bigger. Yep, yeah, maybe just 15 out of 104. So for those of you who are using it, so you can use this and find. So you're in semiconductor, and next you want to sort out by the turnover. All right, so when you sort out by turnover, you can definitely see this is a very interesting three-dimensional sort of looking into the chart. You can see right now Inari has fell 14% since the last 6 months, right? One of the biggest fall. The reason why when they fall so much, there's a likelihood right now we are talking about the market recovery, or we call a revival of the technology sector, or rotation. Money flow out from those sector that have done very well, like oil and gas, previously the last 6 months. Now they're flowing back into technology. So this stock, which have taken a lot of beating in here, right? In here, now they generally are. And of course, you want to pick those stock turnover, which is, pretty decent in here. You can see these are in ringgit, and you want to be at least above 1 million or at least 500,000 here. This, Globetronics, MQ Tech, but MQ Tech I don't like it because it's only a 4-cent stocks. Generally, we don't want to go for the kind of company in here. All right, so you already narrow it down into Inari, Frontcan, Unisem. All right, Frontcan. Now we said before Frontcan, we have taken. So let's look at Frontcan now. This one has down. Last 6 months has down 6%, but this month has gone up by 19%. So this one already run already lah. You can click on this one here, look at the Frontcan, and you can also look at the chart. You can see this one already run already. Okay, so right now from the chart, what we see in here. So from here you can also see right now this one. That's why we have a big drop today, which is down. How many percent? Down. Today is up 2% because I said we have that sell-off here. So it's holding up. It could be a pullback, a nice pullback that will give you another entry here. All right. So Frontcan, this one has run a lot. But look at DNO. Okay, we talked about DNO early on. DNO was again another stock that was picked up by TA. So you can see here, last 6 months is down 24%, but DNO is only down 4% in here. All right, UWC also not bad. You can see UWC. Okay, let's pick up DNO. So right now, why do we have this? Okay, we can come back to here. Okay, let's put D and O here. Okay, let's try this again. All right, now this is better. So you can see from D and O, it's also range bound. You can see from here, D and O is also range bound, hit the O high and the market pullback. But today, of course, it is up 1% in here, right? And just now we know that D and O was an analyst calling it at $4, but it was not covered here. And it doesn't have any rating because the PE is still high at 42. That's a bit expensive in here, and you have ROE of 14%. So definitely in terms of from a FA standpoint and also from a technical standpoint, you can see there's a lot of resistance. You can switch to a 1 month chart here, right? It's a 1 month high, switch back to a 3 month here, and you can see this double top is sort of causing it to not able to move up. Let's pick up another one here. Let's look at, I actually like Catronics. It's down 21%, and this one is rated 5. Okay, you can see rated 5, pays a 6% dividend. So we collect a bit of dividend while going in. As I said before, if the revival is coming back, right, then this one's good. Now we can look from here. This one just broke through the 40-day moving average, had a nice pullback in here, and today we are experiencing, let me just make this a bit, okay, we can make it a bit wider here. So today is up 2.5% in here. So that's a nice one. The market started to pull out. So I like Gatronics, okay, or Globetronics, because it has 5 out of 8 ratings, okay. So this one is pretty good. It is rating 18.6 mainboard, FADO, and long term. Now earlier on, we also want to check out the Inari. So you can click on Inari here. Okay, so you can click on Inari and you will get down to 2, not one of the best, but it has a P of 26 times. Now take note, from a fundamental standpoint, I always look about 15 to 16. That's being the KLCI average. And if it's a growth stock, and what we say here, this is a growth stock, it's a FADO, it's rated 6 out of 9, but it's number 3 out of 16 in terms of semiconductors, okay? So that is the rating that it has, ranking, not rating. So it ranked not too bad. It's a large cap, it's Sharia compliant, so that's pretty good. And these are all the support resistance that we should make note of it, where we are going for. Okay, if you have any stocks that you want to look at from here, we will go into this very shortly too. Next one, because I don't want to focus those $31, UWC used to be very favorite. Let's hit that one and see where UWC is. Today is up 1.6%. Of course, technology stock is up, and you can also see from here, UWC made up. This is really what we call a mid stage 2. So buying this one in here is buying at the mid stage. Now, of course, you can see the railway track already turned, but Inari would be Inari Globetronic would be the nicer one. Inari now is pulled back a bit here, so that's still okay, right? And let's look at another one, JHM. Okay, JHM is 129, up 9% in here, right? And you can see why I say this Litrox or JHM, right? Most of the market leader already move up, so there's still a bit more room for that. Let's take a look at JHM. Okay, so JHM, this one is a market cap is 669, so it's a mid cap stocks. You can see this one's not too bad. Okay, has a pullback, but we want to be buying above 128. So one of the ways to do this is if the market were to break through the 129 short term, which is actually here 129. If tonight the Nasdaq break higher, this JHM is going to break back up too. All right, this JHM is going to break back up in here, and that's going to be good too. So that will give you, but you can see a lot of weaknesses that have already been overcome. So the market's more. Of course, we can also switch back to the real-time chart, JHM in here. So one of the benefit of the VSA 360, you have the real-time charts running on TradingView, and you also have the VSA 360 on the fundamental analysis looking from the stock side in here. That will complement. So you can see, go look at that one. So broke through 129, right? So this one shows Jalan already, right? You can see in here. Now we just need to overcome the 134, and looks like it, and it's very close to the 147. Now take note, NDX, okay, we are looking at the Nasdaq right now. Nasdaq, if the Nasdaq will touch the 200-day moving average, the JHM will also touch it in here. They all follow. Now notice the JHM has already crossed above the 0 line, so again that could be a danger point, so just take note of it. You want to wait for a pullback, but if the market were to break in, you want to be following through like it is, then the market will normally push up. So treat the market with some respect in here. Okay, so that is Globetronics. This is a pretty interesting week's VIS. Okay, VIS in here, KESM, $7.04. Okay, this one is semiconductors. So we are choosing based on the turnover. The reason why is with the turnover, you will have very good liquidity to exit should anything happen to the market. We also look at Emulus soon, no worries. This is 6 out of 8. So from a chart wise, again, very, very similar to, okay, we also look at Emulus. So you look at Emulus, it's a mid cap of 58 cents. It's up 1.4 over in here. Emulus has not run yet, I don't believe. Yeah, it hasn't even broke through in here. So you want it to break above the 62 cents, okay, the short term, because you want to break through the resistance of R1 before you want to make sure the trend really picks up in here. You still need to wait for this one. The ROE is not that good. You can see NA. NA means it's not even rated by the Smart Robie in here. It doesn't have any dividend in here. So why we want to do that is we want to find a stock that is what we call has some forgiving. Okay, forgiving is a term they use. If you make mistakes, at least you stand to collect some dividend too, and that's good. So you can see from here, MLS hasn't turned yet, so you need to wait for it yet. For that one. So I know Winket has been asking about this question in here. It's not one of the best. It's rated 66 out of 109, 18 out of 25. I hope I can convince you to focus on other stocks. Okay. Oh, we want to look at Awantec. Okay, Awantec is not. Remember, Awantec is not semiconductors. Okay, Awantec is digital services. Digital services is a different game altogether. Okay, it's a different game altogether. It may piggyback, but you can see from here, no need lah. You can see the moving average, the railway track still going all the way down. That's one of the benefits with VSA 360. You don't need to look into the market. Of course, today is up 4% lah. Right? If you are the reason why we want to trade it is that we have the overall trend backing it up. Right? Remember, as I said before, technologies, not all sectors flow into it. Okay, not all sectors flow into it. So we just want to narrow down to those few shares, so it makes our life much easier. Of course, the other one is Penta. I think okay, let's check out where is Penta. So I can type here. Penta is 390. Okay, 390. It's in Penta. Remember, Penta is not semiconductors. It's under technology equipment. Okay, so it's different. So let's click on Penta. So when we buy that, we also want to align ourselves with the FA, the fundamental. You can see just like just like Awantec, it's not in there. Penta is slightly better. You can see it's rated 4 out of 25. 13 out of 109. Technology is a growth. It's Sharia and it's on the main board. So just keep that in mind. It's a P of 34 times. Still expensive in here. Very little dividend with the ROE at 13 times today. But the chart wise, it did sell off very badly and it did hold up. All right. So you can see a lot of the stocks are sort of breaking up. And if you look from here, it is the same, just like what we saw on the overall technology sectors here. Right, and we will go back to our dashboard. Okay, we go back to our dashboard, and I just want to share with you in here. Okay, if you have any stocks you want to look at, just let me know. All right, so those are, we just want to break up the Bursa sector dashboard. Okay, the Bursa, and you can see the technology sectors has, you can see here why I talk about that, because you can just bring it out in here very quickly. You can see this market has the resistance. So a lot of the stocks are actually focusing about the same thing. So definitely in here is the top 30, and any of the stocks that you want to, if you want to look at Hata, just click it, it will take you to Hata. That's how easy to use in the VSA 360 in here. It's just that right now, it's rated 3 out of 8. Hata is still pretty much in the downtrend, very similar to Awantec. So those are the stocks that you want to avoid it. Now, if you have VSA 360, it makes your life so much easier. You can see this one, it has turned green, Pentagon started move sideways, but we have to wait for it to take out at least the R1, which is the 291, which is only 4% away. 291, the 4%. Once you take out R1, it's likely to Jalan. So use the R1 as for the Jalan phase in here. Now let's take a look at the, okay, we done that one. So let's go back to semicon. So this is a good guide using the 6 month, the 3 month, and the 1 month. Now we're going to go down to method 2. Okay, so method 2 is something which is very new. So I'm just going to share with you what we are going doing this. Method 2 is looking at the Pentagon Guider. Okay, so this one in here, we are still on the back testing mode. So a few of our coaches and myself, we are back testing this. So we just wait for this to sort out itself in here. So we just wait for this to unlock itself. Okay, once you have it, I'm going to turn off some of these tabs that I'm not using it. So save some memory. Healthcare, ring 4. Okay. Some heavy traffic tonight. All right, if you have any question in here and if you really want to ask some, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, there were a couple of questions in here. Yep, there you go. So you can see, oh yeah, that's right. The green pentagon hasn't come out yet because the market is running right now. So you can see from here, we have the, yeah, it's still waiting for the green pentagon to come out. You can see these are just turned green pentagon. So we will sort them out by market cap, because I always want to look for the highest market cap. You can see this one actually turned green pentagon 5 days ago. Just waiting for the green pentagon to pop up in here. And D-Sonic just turned. JHM just turned. LSOF, this is turned about a week ago, 6 days. A lot of them just turned. And the best one now is Hong Seng. Okay, you can click on Hong Seng. Let's take a look at Hong Seng right now. Hong Seng is up 3%. So this becomes a trading buy. And what sector is this in? This is in the software, like digital services. All right, digital services. Yep, the green pentagon comes out right now. Okay, end to end 6 days ago. So other sectors are turning right now. You can see Chrono, end to end. These are all the software. So software are turning up. So maybe Awantech might just turn up. So you can see there's a trend there, right? The semiconductors already moved. They may just rotate out on D-Sonic, which turned about a week ago. But you can see, yeah. But this one in here, I generally don't like it because still pretty much in the downtrend. Today is up 3% in here. I want to have the setup and the trade with me. Then I have some edge. Else, I usually don't want to trade this. No doubt it turned green pentagon. Let's take a look at D-Sonic here. Right. D-Sonic is up 1%. And okay, D-Sonic has a nice pullback here. You can see pullback. It has been down about 4 days, so today should be an up day. That's right in here. It's not one of the best trade in here. Maybe I'll just wait it to retest the R1, 52 cents, which is the 6% from now before I do anything lah. Because Pentagon flow now is 77, which is very good. This is quite optimal level to be buying in here. But the PE is 140, so this one is already too high, the PE. So you're just trading, not so much of a fundamental. Okay, so those are the few takeaway things you want to be looking at. Let's look at LSOF. Click on that one. Okay, so LSOF is technology. Remember, just like Penta technology, but just now some of you got it right. OSAT. You want to be looking for OSAT. OSAT will have the best one. Pentagon flow is about 91 in here. Again, 74 cents. 69, that's where you want the 6.4% in here. You can see this is the one that moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bars already. Okay, usually 7 bar goes up. I want to check my LSOF. Okay, I want to check my market stages. You can see 4 already, cross 4 already. Danger, danger, don't trade, okay? This one can pull back anytime. Wait for it to pull back first. Okay, so far we have picked what stocks? We have picked Inari, Frontcan, okay, Penta, okay, that's not too bad. Penta, they're in there. How about others? Okay, if you have other stocks, I can, then let's look at the, I'm okay to look at them. Yeah, Unisems, okay, we'll look at Unisems. We can look at Unisem too. So you can look at Unisem is 2.4%. All right, 2.4% in here. Wow, look at this one in here. Unisem has really moved up already. All right, this one already don't want to chase it. Already got up too much already. Okay, let's pull back in here. All right, so Inari seems to be a better one. Front can also not too bad. Okay, and there's some of these great tech. And let's look at great tech too. Okay. Now, great tech is under technology. Again, another sector. Again, another sector in here. Now, there's a question in here. Remember, in technology in the US, they are referring to a bunch of stuff, all right, including software, equipment, digital services, and so forth. But what we are doing here is looking at technology sector, right? The technology sector in many ways has strong correlation with the US side. Of course, now we are looking for the best inner sector of the technology, and that's why we're talking about OSAT. I hope I answered that. There are some correlation between that because they usually take a cue from the big brother in here. So you look from great tech here, this stocks inside here, we got Uptrust hit another top here, but today the market has pulled back again. Very, very similar to what we've seen some of these stocks inside here. All right, they already have green pentagon, so you want to be trade on some sort of pullback, on some sort of strength coming in, then only you want to be buying. But we have identified those stocks already. They're all in green pentagon right now. Of course, if the market were to break lower, like breaking to the S1, which is 30% away, or the ATR stop loss about 10% away. So right now, great set for Unisem, it's a 10% stop loss in here. You got your short term, which is about at the 15%, and your long term is at this is your short term turning green, and long term is the right now -9. So which means it's still on the downside in here. Okay, still on the downside. It has started to move up. So we want too high valuing. So we want to look for a green long term in here. So that's where we are looking at. This one green is okay, but this one you look for the green one in here. So here's the same thing, Penta, right? We want, because it hasn't moved up above the 200-day moving average. Some of these are actually at the bottom fishing trade in here. Okay, so we've done the Pentagon in here. Let's take a look at another one. These are all software. You can also go to page 3, SMRT, Ucrest, but you can see these are like very small. Anything market cap, not in the 400 million. I usually don't want to trade them because they are very wild. They can swing a lot too. Okay, so if you look from here above the 4 or 500, even Iris here, you can see Elsoft is only 471, just slightly passing it in the. Those JHM, D-Sonic are pretty decent in here. Okay, this one started to move up a lot, but again, LT, ST, red color, we don't want to be trading it. Okay, so that's the one we want to avoid. And so this is how we pick some of those good shares that we have, right? We want to pick shares that is optimally in our favor and not the other way around. Okay, let's move on. So we're done with the method 1 very quickly, just very briefly, and we're done method 2. So remember, what we're trying to do in here is to flow into what smart money is putting their money to and getting out in. So earlier on, we are trying to get entry in here. Of course, earlier episode I mentioned before, just this is the big move. A lot of stocks already started here. You can see it just now, right? From looking at the technology sectors, looking at some of the stocks, you will probably know this is where it actually hit this resistance. Some has popped through, like what we saw in US, right? And the 200-day moving is just up here. So this is actually a very good guide for you. And if all goes well, we see the kind of recovery, this market will confirm it further, and we'll probably get a rally from here onwards. All right, so lucky for us, some of the stocks is still pretty much in A, some are still here. So you need to wait for this congestion for it to move up. Then some stocks are in B, has a pullback, so you have to be very careful. When the pullback, that is the best time to be buying. So what sector? We are looking at OSAT. And second one was the technology equipment. Those are the two sectors we are looking at. Large cap and small cap, I think we differentiate. Some of them are Inari. Small, we don't have small caps in terms of below 1 ringgit, maybe Elsoft. But if you look at they are like mid cap. Elsoft fall into it because we're looking at the market capitalization in here. Frontcan, Unisem, take a look at them. Look at the support resistance. Look at the breakout of the R1 before you want to do entry, and make sure you good support behind it. Always build a trading plan before you go in. So those are the few stocks we were talking about in here. And of course, technology sector Revival 360 is finding what works, and what really supporting out is a strong fundamental way. The charts is already going through what we call a pullback, because already run ma, people start taking profit lah, right? So right now you want to be buying those stocks that have the lowest risk entry with our deep dive one, either method 1 or method 2. Flow where the money is going to. Make sure you're buying during the market at the lowest point, and during when market just turned green Pentagon, isn't it? We talk about it, which is around the 17th or 18th of July. Right now it's already mid-August in here, so you got to be very careful in here. So with our Pentagon method 2 and method 1, which is the industrial one, you have a choice. You either go to it or pick up, and you can always scan every day looking for the right sector and right entry income. And that's what all our members did. In our program that we are doing, we always want to bring the best out of you. And of course, some of our members in here who's been with us for the last 12 or 15 months near joining our masterclass, they've done very well. Even the last 2 months, right, that we did this live 20-day live trading challenge in June, the market was down 2%, but they have done very well. Being the leader in the 20-day chart, Eric New made about 28%, and then we have Kitgo made a 23%, while the KLSE dropped 2.4%, and last but not least, our Turtle Trader previous winner also did very well in our 20-day challenge. And all this is through a right program, through our Foundation 1 and 2, which we are starting this Friday in here. Now you can either sign up for the plugin, or you can sign up for 1 year unlimited pass and 12-month software membership for our masterclass. Now, some of the things we'll be teaching this Friday, right? I'll be starting off with the session. We're going to be doing profiling on you. What kind of trader you are? What makes you tick? Why do you do what you're currently doing now? So it's going to be an in-depth study into it. Then we're going to look at the FCPO futures as a foundation in here. And we're going to be looking into pullback methods, looking at some of the trades setup they'll do. And then on Saturday, we're doing on the market stages, going into a bit more depth, looking at different examples, different scenarios there, and also VSA, sign of strength and sign of weakness. So those are the things you're going to be covering. And if you feel that our Smart Robie has helped you, and all our Wednesday session help you, this is something you want to be part of this fraternity, part of a community to go to the next level in here. Because unlike others, we both have the software and also our membership and our coaching. And also remember, our live trading challenge, where we will challenge you to achieve and to bring the best out from you. So we are unlike any other trainer and software company in here. We hope that you will make the right decision. Even today, we are talking about OSAP and we are talking about technology equipment. What are the right stocks we are picking? What are your preferences in here? Thus, that way you get better returns in your investment in here. And of course, we are the inventor of our Pentagon Guider in here, following the works of Tom Williams. Green is up, red is down. And of course, the biggest takeaway is our session. What did you learn today? So you can share with me in our Google review and stand a chance to win our 3-month membership worth 1,000 ringgit. That's all you need to do. That's all. Share in less than 200 words in here. And of course, if you want to find out more about news totally free, sign up for our Robie newsletter in here. And if you're ready for this Friday, you can sign up, giving you the first mover advantage here for our Trade VSA plugin in here so far. All right. So that's all I have for tonight. And don't forget to join our Telegram chat for all our free stock up market information in here. Okay, there are a couple of stocks I want to look at. So Joseph need a clarification. Semiconductors, is it correlated with the US? The answer is yes. Okay, should we wait for Polo? Yeah, the Pelosi one, don't have to worry so much. That one is already, he already left Taiwan already. Market's going to rally back already. Okay, Awantec, I think we talked about that. Look at Excel Force, eForce. Okay, because eForce has a green pentagon. That's right. And let's look at eForce. The network is busy now. Excel Force. Okay, we're going to switch over to another alternative. Always look at the chart here. E-Force, okay? Excel Force. You can see here this, again, Excel Force is a software company, right? It's piggybacking on the semiconductors, on the technology. The big driver are the technology and OSAT. So keep in mind, Excel Force may flatten, but if the trend were to go up, this will pick up. Excel Force actually has nothing to do with semiconductors, but it is just picking. Remember, the trend both are still down. Turn green Pentagon, first time it moves up, but resistance coming in. And today it's supposed to go higher, right? But it did not. So I'll be careful of it. Always pick the right stock on the right sector. Then you have your trade working in your favor. All right. So I hope I answered your question. And don't forget to sign up for our daily newsletter and also our VSA 360 10-day free trial. If you have not done so, please do it, and you get a chance to test drive one of the best software that we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.